So the energies are changing in a dramatic fashion at the moment, affecting all us humans and our little companions. Ascension energies and how animals are actually being affected by these energy changes. Humongous energy changes are affecting us, and our physiology is changing, and our mentality is changing, and obviously it's affecting our animals. And this is Millie, by the way, asleep by the fire. Obviously she's got a coat on because it's kind of sub-zero outside. But this conversation's not about this dog, it's about another dog, Muttley, who I had for 10 years. And this is to kind of shed a bit of light on experiences that you might be having with your animals that you can't understand. So I'll just tell you the story about Muttley. I'm not going to elaborate too much. I'll try and keep it short. But the way it went was I'd had this dog Muttley for 10 years, and he started to go outside when the weather was really nice last year, and he kept looking up. He looked up for probably, periodically going out, sitting there looking up. It was about 2 months. And for some bizarre reason, I kind of knew that there was something coming that I didn't want to admit to myself, which was I knew he was going to die for whatever reason. Anyway, what actually happened was on the 8th of the 8th, which was when the Lionsgate portal, the 8th of the 8th 18 last year, the Lionsgate portal opened up, and I'm not particularly into astrology. Was I aware of this Lionsgate portal opening up and what was actually going to happen if it opened up? Pretty unaware of it all, to be honest. Even though I'm aware that the changes are here and they're affecting us, I was pretty unaware that it was a specific Lionsgate portal on that day. Anyway, on that specific day, I got out of bed and my dog Muttley was lying on the floor, and unfortunately within 2 hours he died, which was kind of unexpected but also expected. I knew deep down that was something going to happen, but as to what it was, sometimes you know these things, you don't know why you know them, and you certainly don't want to admit to them because you're kind of in agreement that you think your dog's going to die. So anyway, he died, and obviously made his transition to another world. Now this is more about my friend's dog now, because what actually happened on the day that Muttley died, my friend's dog had a fit, and it totally corresponded with the Lionsgate portal opening and affecting animals in such a manner. But not everyone kind of understands that there's an energy shift. Not everyone understands what the dog's thinking or doing. Well, we couldn't understand because we think very unlike a dog, and we do have a tendency to put our kind of thoughts onto animals, So consequently we don't really know what's going on with them, but we have a general idea of how they behave. And obviously it depends how much you look at your dog and how how you perceive them, and if you watch them and how much you watch them. But anyway, my friend had an Alsatian, and on the same day as Muttley died, his dog had a fit, and his dog fitted so badly it bit its tongue, and it was in a bad way. Anyway, it kind of recovered, but in a very kind of poor manner. It didn't recover, it only kind of got kind of back to a percentage of what it was. And then it was to the vets, and what the vets are like, they'll jack your dog up with poison. The only thing that I think you need for your animal, if it's got some kind of psychological kind of thing going on, would be CBD oil. Anyway, and we recently had the blood red moon, And on the blood red moon, he said his dog went absolutely crazy and went nuts, and he had to have it put down the next day. So consequently, what I thought I'd do is obviously do this video to try and give an explanation of try and give some kind of explanation if you're having if you've had an unexpected death on an event where your dog's gone kind of bonkers. It may well be the integration of the energy into the animal. It's very difficult to kind of even comprehend any of this. The world's absolutely crazy at the moment, but we do love our animals. So even my girlfriend's dogs, she's got 5 dogs, and one of them, Tyson, a pretty apt name I suppose for this dog, he just was going crazy, you know, and so consequently, by the time we actually start understanding that our dogs are actually going bonkers, we really can't figure out what to do with them or how to actually deal with what's going on. But the first thing is to understand that there are kind of like an excited energy that's going on at the moment that's certainly got us all as humans kind of like kind of rattled, really, simply because you know, I can certainly tell that you know, our consciousness is changing, and obviously my consciousness is changing. Then animals, 100%. If you don't understand what's going on, go research some of the Mandela effect to figure out that there's been humongous changes, and that there are actually massive quantities of energy being ejected from the sun via the galactic center. So, you know, we're having a rough ride, and so are our animals. And like I say, this is just to try and, you know, kind of put together some pieces if you've got questions as to why your animal suddenly died. But you know, as far as I'm concerned, death isn't the finality. It goes on. It's just that we can't perceive where our animals have gone, but they certainly go somewhere. I did have a dream about Muttley. He was outside. I live in this little cabin, and he was outside on the grass, and I went out and said, "What are you doing here? I thought you'd gone." Anyway, gave him a cuddle, and I thought maybe that was a little visit, you know. When I woke up, I thought, oh, that was nice, you know, a little visit from him. Felt very real, but these are the things that we can get when something passes over to the other side. That we can get our visits every now and again, but I digress a touch. It's just like I say, it's just about trying to give people some kind of conclusion as to, or kind of idea as to what could possibly be happening to their animal because of the energies that are here. I also found that you know, I'm not really talking about humans at the moment, trying to keep it with animals, but obviously the perspective of everything is through our human filter. So consequently, keep an eye on your dogs, and I would suggest CBD oil, certainly for any kind of neurological problems that your dog may well be having, and certainly for human beings as well. So just be kind of aware that there's something happening to our animals, and we really don't understand. But at the same time, it's trying to do the best for our animal while it's going through something that we're going through. We can comprehend our reality, but can the animals comprehend theirs in the same manner we do? Of course they can't. So there's going to be a different kind of way that these animals are absorbing this energy, and it's all about raising the frequency. I always believe in a positive kind of outlook in life. It's kind of like the glass half full versus half empty every day for everyone. and I'm certainly an advocate of the glass is half full always, and there's always a silver lining to everything, if you know how to think in the right manner. When my dog died, and I did speak briefly about this in a previous video, but when my dog died, I can't think of what I'm thinking about. When my dog died, a big blank out's happening. When he died, my girlfriend said, "Why don't you look for another dog?" And I said, "One will arrive, one will come here." Not necessarily knock at the door, but I thought one will arrive, and I was sure of it. And that's what you're looking at, little Millie there. She arrived. A friend of mine gave me this dog, and all kind of law of attraction stuff. And yes, it's very true, law of attraction works. That's how everything works. And this little dog is now in my home with my other two dogs, and I just thought I'd film little Millie there while I'm rabbiting on. So in a nutshell, just try and look after your animals the best you can, and like I said before, if you do feel that they're having neurological kind of problems, then fitting and such, like epilepsy, just not being themselves, and try some CBD oil. And good luck to everyone.